London Cricket Ground. I'm Matthew Hill, and alongside me in the commentary box is David Bashir. Now, you went down to the pitch a moment ago. How are the conditions looking for the match, David?
A few clouds around, Matt, but the forecast says that heavier cloud will roll in later with a high chance of rain. I was down in the middle looking at the pitch earlier. There's a few cracks on the surface, but some moisture underneath.
Thank you, David. Let's hope that rain stays away. No doubt both teams will have an eye on the scoreboard and the other on the skies during this match. The teams are making their way out onto the field now. We'll take this opportunity to look at the two opening batsmen, David. The opening batsman here, facing the very first ball of the match.
The bowling is so hard on this shit.
The batsman won't like that. Straight through the crease, dead ball. Dear oh dear, just got everything wrong. Batsman's not happy. Got to try that one again. That's the end of this match. England will be very pleased with this victory and the way their players stood up.
England has got home comfortably in the end. Unfortunately, the opposition didn't quite do enough with the bat, and a few more runs on the board, it may have been a different story.
That's how this match is finished. I hope you enjoyed the... Hello everyone, and great to have you all with us here as we bring you today's clash. I'm Matthew Hill, and beside me in the commentary box is David Bashir. He's been keeping an eye on the weather forecast and observing the conditions out there. David, what can you tell us?
There's a little bit of cloud about, Matt, but overall it's not a bad day. I was down in the middle earlier and I like what I saw. The wicket is very hard but very green on the surface.
Thank you, David. That's why you're on the big bucks. Not long away until the start of this highly anticipated match. It's been the #1 topic in town. I can't wait. The bowling side are now walking out onto the field. So let's take a look at the opening batsman who'll be facing the new ball this afternoon. The opening batsman here, facing the very first ball of the match. And that goes through to the wicketkeeper. No shot offered. And it goes through to the keeper. And he lets it carry through to the keeper.
Into the first over, none for none.
Oh, that's hit the batsman. Very nasty indeed. He didn't see that one coming. Big shout here. Out. Give an LBW. Well, the batsman doesn't think he's out. He's going to challenge the umpire here. Will the decision get reversed? And the decision stands. Both teams only get the one unsuccessful challenge per match, so they'll have no challenges left.
Now, one for none.
And that carries through to the keeper. No run.
The batsman let that go through, but it was a super delivery. Nothing the batsman could do there.
No shot offered and safely through to the keeper.
Kent has been so slick in the field, and you can tell it's something they take pride in. He goes for a duck, and this is a very big wicket to fall. He'll be kicking himself when he gets back to the sheds.
Batsman Going to the fielding side, please make them welcome.
So a new bowler is about to begin his spell here. That's out. Caught and bowled.
Kent is on fire in the field and looking very sharp. They're putting the opposition under enormous pressure.
Into the batting team, all out, and up. The batting team now, all and up.
He's got him. Superb catch.
Is out faster than he got in.
Six batsmen, all out, and up. The batting team are now 5 and up.
The new batsman is out there, and he had to pad up pretty quickly after his team lost their last batsman. Can he stop the hat-trick ball here?
Will be kicking himself here. Don't know what he was trying to do with that ball.
The man departing the field, run out, 2-1. The batting team now, 2-1.
And he's off the mark.
No, he's dropped the ball. Big shot, and that's cleared the boundary. 6 runs.
The captain has to regather his troops here. They need to put that missed opportunity behind them and keep pushing.
He's dropped it.
Tough times for the fielding side.
8 from the over. Bright is about to start a new over. David, what information do you have about this player?
The bowler, well, Matt, he's very quick. He should trouble the batsman with pure pace as long as he gets his line and length right.
Oh, and they liked that one. Loud appeal. Not out, says the umpire. Probably a good call. He's got him. Course.
Kent have picked up a very good wicket, but their work is far from over.
The batsmen are in crease, all out, 2-1. The batting team are now 7 for 8.
to have found the edge so well last ball, he'll be wondering what else he needs to remove this batsman.
Oh, the batsman couldn't get out of the way of that one, and he looks in some pain. And no run there.
It was a suicidal run out. Just what were the batsmen doing there?
Man with bowling field, run out to 7. Bowling team are now on 8 to 9.
Is about to start a new over.
That was a loose stroke.
That must have been millimetres from the off stump. No addition to the scoreboard.
The batsman made a big mess of this delivery. Great piece of bowling.
That's edged.
The batsman needs to be very wary after the bowler found the edge last delivery. Oh dear, a suicidal run out. What was he thinking?
So this innings has come to an end. They've lasted the overs.
The batting team have finished this innings, but unfortunately, they haven't posted quite enough to make a game of this. The opposition should finish this total off very quickly and claim a big win.
So now it's time to look at the two opening batsmen as both teams make their way onto the field. That's the end of this match. Kent County Cricket Club will be very pleased with this victory and the way their players stood up.
Kent has taken the honours in a tight tussle here. It was a very good all-round team performance from both their...
Good morning, everyone, and welcome along London Cricket Ground. I'm Matthew Hill, and beside me in the commentary box is David Bashir. Now, you've been studying the conditions out there, David. What's the latest?
A few clouds around, Matt, but the forecast says that heavier cloud will roll in later with a high chance of rain. The pitch is hard, it's green on top, It may seem early, but it's really a batsman's paradise. A lot of runs to be scored on this wicket.
Thanks, David. Good to see the weather gods have put on a stunning day for this match, and we won't be having any interruptions. A perfect day for cricket. The bowling side are now walking out onto the field. So let's take a look at the opening batsman who'll be facing the new ball this afternoon. The opening ball about to be bowled here. Beautifully bowled. Batsman had no chance.
The batsman is out for a royal duck here. He'll be absolutely filthy with the way he got himself out there.
The bowling team are now 1 for none.
The batsman was beaten all ends up there, and it sails past the bat to the keeper. The batsman was beaten all ends up there. As it sails past the bats. Great bowling. And no run there. And 2 runs added to the scoreboard. The batsman was beaten all ends up there as it sails past the bats. Great bowling.
End of the first over.
1 for 3.
For 3.
The batsman was beaten all ends up there, and it sails past the bat to the keeper.
The batsman will be ruining that missed opportunity. A loose delivery there, and he should have got on the end of it.
Nice straight bat. No run. That must have been millimetres from the off stump. The batsman was beaten all ends up there, and it sails past the bat to the keeper. The batsman was beaten all ends up there as it sails past the bats. Great bowling. No addition to the scoreboard. England are 1 for 3.
A well-controlled maiden, superb bowling.
Change of bowling for the fielding side. Please make them welcome.
So a new bowler is about to begin his spell here. No shot offered and safely through to the keeper. off the mark. Oh, he's got air on this. That's out of here.
The slower ball, and the batsman picked it. It was punished for 6.
He's walloped that for another big 6. He's on fire.
Over the bowler's head, superb effort.
This is high in the air. Just lands inside the rope. That's 4 runs.
That's a fine shot. Got onto it early.
Oh, that was heading for 6, but it just lands short. That'll be 4. Trish Trail will be hoping he can bounce back from that over. Is about to start a new over.
England versus Kent. That's England versus England, then LOL.
The batsman was beaten all ends up there as it sails past the bats. Great
Yeah, I
ball.
know. It's because I
How
suck.
you doing, bud?
Oh, God. Doing all right. Who we got in here? Yo, 7. Oh.
The batsman was beaten all ends up there as it sails past the bats. Great bowling.
The batsman should have dispatched that ball. It was poorly delivered and deserved to be hit to the boundary.
The batsman was beaten all ends up there as it sails past the bats.
I
Great
just
bowling.
knocked 2 out of the place up in the stands. Now I'm fucking trying to murder the ball.
No run.
Like 4 good
A
hits with
tidy
this
over.
fucking dude.
A maiden.
Change in bowling lineup for the fielding team.
Copeland is about to start his spell from the pavilion end. The batsman was beaten all ends up there and it sails past the bat to the keeper. The batsman was beaten all ends up there as it sails past the bats. Great bowling. No addition to the score.
I got to get the new game because this announcer sucks. Oh, the... God,
Batsman
what's
was
going
beaten
on?
all ends up there and it sails past the bat
Beating
to the
all
keeper.
ends up there. It's sailing past the batter. Adjust my foot placement. Stand right in front of it.
Confident
Oh,
appeal.
bullshit. Bullshit.
And he's gone. So the batsman is going to challenge that decision. Let's see what the outcome is here then.
I know I might be arrested for saying this as an English guy, but cricket was never my game.
Well, I got a little bit of a passion for it on account of baseball is hands down my favorite sport. And it's always fun as an American to compare the differences between baseball, like the way you hit. I mean, I've got 2 sports games on my system, and it's MLB The Show and cricket. That's the 2 sports games I have.
Both teams only get the one unsuccessful challenge per match, so I'll have no challenges.
And I'm thinking about buying the new one. They just come out with a new one just the other day, as a matter of fact. Pretty sure I'm going to pick it up. But this one still looks good to be as old as it is. This
I think
motherfucker's
baseball is more dynamic than cricket.
The batsman was beaten all ends up.
Yeah,
there,
cricket can get a little.
Great bowling and no run there.
You tuned in at the wrong time. I was fucking killing it here a minute ago.
Big shout here. He's out. LBW.
Fuck. Yeah, I always thought it was funny, Seven, which is just like Americans. Like, I know 1 million Americans, and I know 3 who like baseball. Same thing with English people. I know all you guys from England, none of you
So
watches,
this innings
plays,
has
or
come to
gives
an
a
end.
fuck about cricket.
They've
It's
lasted
weird.
the
But,
overs.
The batting team have finished this innings, but unfortunately, they haven't posted.
But then
quite
again,
enough
like
to
I
make a
say,
game of this.
there's a lot of people in
The opposition
America,
should
and a
finish
lot
this
of
photo
people
off very
don't
quickly
watch
and claim
baseball.
a big win.
all I can say is I played baseball
I
the entire
always
time I was in
quite
school.
like the strategy element of American football. Just football for you, I guess, LOL.
Well, I played football too, but I just liked baseball better. And if cricket would have been there, I would have played it also. I mean, I played everything they offered, played football and baseball, but
So now it's time to look at the 2 opening batsmen as both teams make their way onto the field.
England is making its way out on the field, followed by the opening batsman, who must be feeling pretty confident of knocking these
I
runs
cannot
off
bowl
easily.
on this fucking
Could
game
be a
now.
stroll on the park, really.
Let me check the things again. It's so fucking hard. Try it. See if I can get it. Start the ball. Going in. Fucking.
Dear, oh dear, he just got everything wrong. Batsman's not happy.
Just got everything wrong. Going in. Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Straight through the crease. Dead
I gotta
ball.
quit pushing back. That's my problem. I'm trying to push back all the time.
The batsman won't like that. Can't get this approach right. The batsman gives him a
No,
glare.
I can't get it right.
What's he doing?
Fucking throw the fucking ball. God fucking damn. I don't know why they make it so crazy. All right, full length.
The run up all wrong. Well, something must have distracted the bowler.
All right, I'll just simulate because it's impossible to bowl in this fucking game.
there. That's the end of this match. Kent County Cricket Club will be very pleased with this victory and the way their players stood up.
Kent County Cricket
Have
Club.
won this match. It was a game that could have gone either way.
Should have
Well,
went my
I
way.
trust you enjoyed the coverage. On behalf of David and myself,
I used to live in Kent and I've been to that club.
Who's that? Who we got now? Well, I thought you, I thought you did, but what are you doing? Jump in a fucking party with me, man.
good afternoon, everyone, and welcome along London Cricket Ground. I'm Matthew Hill, and beside me in the commentary box is David Bashir.
big
Now, you've
fat
been
doobie.
studying the conditions
Getting
out
ready
there,
to smoke
David.
it.
What's
That'd
the
probably make it
latest?
better.
A bit of cloud overhead early on, but the majority of the day will be played in glorious sunshine. And the pitch is in great condition. It's hard, very dry on the surface.
Thanks, David. So both teams very close to coming out to the middle, and a very good crowd is building up.
I think I will bat. Yeah, I'm hoping the new game will have
The
a
bowling
more
side are now walking out onto the field. So let's take a look at the opening batsman who'll be facing the
Intuitive.
new ball this afternoon.
bowling control goes. I gotta say, unless there's some way to change it, the bowling on
The
this
opener
is
will face the very first ball here.
horrible. The batting ain't much better.
Oh, that's hit the batsman. Very nasty
Oh,
indeed.
bullshit.
Didn't see that
That hit
one
the
coming.
bat. Oh, fuck.
This could be close. Oh, very, very lucky to survive that one.
You'd think they would handle bowling more like you handle swinging a club on golf.
No shot offered and safely through to the keeper. And no run there.
Nah, it's very complicated, the batting. Again, MLB, the show, the pitching is a lot more intuitive. The batting, you know, this one's a little bit like,
The batsman was beaten all ends up there, and it sails past the bat.
I wish
to the
that guy would come up with a new phrase.
Oh, and they liked that one. Loud appeal. Not out, says the umpire. Probably
No.
a good call.
It was a good call. That
So
knows
the
what he's
captain
doing.
wants to challenge that decision.
You're my
Let's see what
boy,
the
Blue.
outcome is here then.
Well, I don't care. It's in my favor. It's a call. I definitely hit my bat. Oh, I see. Yeah. You would have missed it.
Hey, dude.
And the
Yo.
decision stands. Both teams only get the one.
I don't know how long this will last. My phone's on 24% battery. I forgot to charge it when I went to bed last night. I've only literally just got up. It's really bad.
Oh, you're at the
literally
house?
just got up.
Well, plug us some bitch in.
Yeah, well, I've got a what's it charger actually on my kitchen table. It's like a wireless one. You just put the phone on top of it and it charges it.
I seen one of them the other day at the store. I about bought it. It was like $50 or something, $25. I can't remember.
Oh, fucking no! Well, don't buy that. The one I bought, mate, I got off eBay. It was about £2. I was just like,
$2?
oh, okay.
Shit. Or
Yeah,
two,
it was
yeah.
really cheap.
Well,
I mean,
that's
I could
$5
be
here, but-
slightly off, but it was really cheap. And yeah, I've had
Work?
it for a couple of years. Yeah, it works on any kind of current phone. I can't use it on my work phone because my work phone's a cheap piece of shit. But like my phone, I've got a Samsung S10. Works fine on that. It worked fine on the S9 I had before. It worked on the S7 I had before that. My ex's S8 and stuff like that. And so all that kind of thing. It works on iPhones, but only kind of the latest ones. Any phone that is capable of using wireless charging. But yeah, it was really, really cool. I picked it up for like a couple of quid, and I was like, oh fuck it, that's a good idea. And yeah, I just have it in my kitchen because people come round here like they've got iPhones and I don't have an iPhone, so oh, can I charge my phone? It's a new one, yeah, put it on that. So yeah, 50 quid? Hell no.
Well, I'll tell you what
see-
happened. The reason why I was willing to spend that much was because my phone, which is the one I use for my internet, how I'm streaming this game right now and shit, right? I spilled a margarita all over it.
Oh, so it fucked up the charging port a bit.
Well, it wouldn't charge there for about a day or two, and I fucking dipped it in salt or rice, done all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Alcohol swabbed it out, and
I
it
mean, it
wouldn't
takes a
charge
couple
there
of
for
days.
about a couple of days, yeah. And
Yeah.
I was like, well, the only thing I know to do till I can order another one is get a wireless charger.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely well worth it. I picked mine up off of eBay for like pennies, really. It was a few quid. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but it was less than £5. So you can get them cheap, and they literally. I mean, this one just plugs in. It's got a cable coming off of it, so it's like a little round thing, probably. Do you guys use centimeters or millimeters?
Millimeters, I do.
Millimeters. Okay, so it's probably about 4 centimeters across, so 400 millimeters
Yeah.
in sort of diameter. So it's not big, and it's got a USB cable coming out the back of it, which you then plug into the wall because I've just got it plugged into a Samsung.
Oh, so it's like a
charger.
big pad.
It's a round pad, yeah, and you just put the phone on top of it. I mean, it's not as wide as the phone. It's smaller. It's considerably smaller than the phone. So you just kind of pop the phone on top of it, kind of put it roughly in the middle of the phone.
So
Yeah, the
40,
green light
more like
turns blue.
40 millimeters.
Yeah, sorry, 40. Yeah, sorry, I did that wrong. Yeah, it's 10 millimeters to a centimeter. I went 100 millimeters because I don't really use millimeters that often.
Yeah, I was like,
sorry,
damn, that's
so
like 8 inches.
yeah, it's not like the size of a laptop.
Yeah.
No, it's it's about 4 centimeters, 40 millimeters, across, and so it's only small. You just plonk it on there, and it charges it up. It doesn't support fast charging, so it'll take probably about an hour to charge my phone completely, maybe even an hour and a half. But it doesn't matter. You just put it on it, and it's handy. But like I say, I mainly use it if I happen to be in the kitchen, like watching you guys on YouTube or something, or watching anything on YouTube, and if my phone's low, I plonk it on there. Or if my mates come round and they need to charge their phones up, to save me having to get different cables to fucking work on.
Well, that is
phones.
the most attractive part about it, just not having to have different cables. Because I had an iPhone for work, and then I got an Android for personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it gets
That's the thing. I
aggravating.
mean, with my S10, I mean, the charging cable for an S10 is a USB-C, and not that many phones. Well, the new ones will do, but like anything kind of sort of S9 doesn't use a USB-C, so they've all got USB Type 3s, and if you get further back still, you want a USB Type 2s, and it's fucking like people come around with phones from all different times, and it's like, oh no, just put it on the pad. But then again, if they've got like a USB 2.0 one, the pad ain't gonna work anyway because their phone's archaic.
Well, it's funny about that. It's like me, like the phone I got now, unless it breaks, I have no reason to ever get another phone.
Yeah. I mean, remember I told you the other night we were talking about tech, and I was saying that I'm really fastidious about my technology. I always like to have the best technology, and I always like it to be like in perfect condition. So I keep my phone in really immaculate nick. with my last phone, I was kind of that mindset. I was like, I pay, at the moment I think I pay about £35 a month for my phone contract. And at the time, before my previous phone, I was on about £39 a month for the phone contract I was paying for. And I've been paying for contracts for years. And I was thinking I could really, really lower what I pay each month just by keeping the same phone when it comes time to renew, and just getting like a non-handset contract for like 200 minutes. It costs you like £4 a month versus basically 40. And then my last phone got dropped. I don't drop my phones very often, but it got dropped, and there was a tiny little crack on the screen. I mean, it was tiny, dog. You could barely see it. It was imperceptible unless the phone was in a certain light. And but that's enough for me. I was like, no, can't do that, and immediately had to replace it. So, I mean, this phone at the moment is in immaculate condition, and if it stays that way, I mean, I'm due for my renewal at the end of this year, because I've had this one for just over a year now. I got this 2020 December.
Yeah.
So if it's still in immaculate nick, it will be September, October time. It'll be, I think, October time this year when I'm due to renew. Then I might very well just go with a contract-only deal and just keep this handset, because it's fucking brilliant. It's a great handset. But the problem I find, because these days mobile phones have their batteries built into them, so you can't. It's not like the old phones where you could take the battery off and just put a new one in it if the battery got shit. So these days I find the batteries do degrade over time. So 2 years after you start using your phone, you get your phone and your full battery lasts 10 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, whatever. By the time your renewal comes around, like a full charge on a battery might last you 4 or 5 hours if it's getting any use. And so I always end up kind of upgrading on that basis alone. It's just that the battery's degraded, and it's not like you can just put a new battery in it or buy a new battery, because it's part of the phone. It's now built into it. The back doesn't come off. There's no way to replace it. You could send it off to Samsung, I suppose, and get them to replace it, but I'm not sure what that process is. And whether or not you just get a reconditioned one back. I'm not sure if they even provide that service.
Well, I'll tell you something. Talking about battery life, that was my main problem, because like I just told you before, the phone I got now, unless it breaks, I got no reason to buy another one for a while, foreseeable future. Yeah. And Stevie DVD, he's got the exact same phone I got, and he can vouch for me. I've had mine, goddamn, since it came out.
What have you got?
I got a Motorola G-Power, or whatever it's called. Okay. Super Power, something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but let's put it this way. Like right now, it's been off the charger for, let me see what time it is. It's been off the charger for 6 hours. At least that. And I've been streaming video games off of it the entire time. You know what I mean? So, if I go to work for 12 hours, and this is no shit, I can watch videos the entire day and still have battery power when I get home. Plenty of battery power.
Yeah, mine's pretty good, to be fair. I mean, if you think about it, so yesterday, I took my phone off of charge when I got up yesterday at, 8 o'clock or whatever to start work. I haven't charged it all day yesterday, or any point during the night. It has not been charged at all since I took it off charge yesterday morning. I wasn't speaking on it much, but I made a few phone calls on it. I've watched after I got offline with you guys last night. I fell asleep in bed watching a YouTube video on it and just left it. And I woke up this morning and it was in my bed playing YouTube. Okay, and I was on the phone in our voice chat to you guys last night for about 4 or 5 hours. I'm on the voice chat with you now. It hasn't been charged, and it's still on 23%. So it's not doing bad, to be fair. I mean, that's over 24 hours. I would call not heavy use, because it doesn't use much battery to be in this voice chat with you. But it uses quite a bit of battery to be watching YouTube videos. I mean, that's it's a 4K screen, so it does sap away at it. And that was doing that all night while I was asleep, or at least until the phone just decided, no, he stopped watching and kind of put itself back into like a black screen. So yeah, it's not bad. But I do find that the Samsung batteries don't have the staying power over time. I think Samsung phones, I love them. I've had Samsung since 2010.
Goodbye for now.
But it's a shame.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've had them both because, well, actually, the first personal one I ever bought was a Nokia or whatever you want to call it.
I think the first phone.
First two or three I had was Nokias. But.
Yeah, same here. And I actually, I was actually using a Nokia before I got my first Android, before I got my first Samsung. It wasn't like an old Nokia. It was like, you know, when Nokia tried to do their version of Android. Like when the iPhones first came out and stuff like that. So yeah, it was one of those, but it wasn't. it was decent for its time.
I'm not gonna lie, I had Nokia till Android came out, and the first one I bought of that iPhone touchscreen shit.
Yeah, same as
was Android. I can't remember what brand, but it was not I didn't get an iPhone when touchscreen came out. I had Nokias till.
Well, I mean, my last Nokia was a touchscreen Nokia. That's what I'm saying. Like, Nokia went through a phase where they were trying.
Oh, I went straight from the old school one. When I still had the old one. You know what I mean? Because again, I'll keep one till it's absolutely obsolete. I still got televisions that ain't digital. Does that make any sense?
No, and you know what though, Doc? Like, you know, knowing you, I've known you for what, 2 or 3 years now, maybe more, and so yeah, that kind of that fits my. You're a very practical person in the sense that you're like, you know, it works, I'll keep it. You know, whereas I am
and I'm used to it. That's more
a slave
important.
To technology. I am. You know. That's the problem. I'm a slave to technology, and I am always chasing the latest gadget, which is a bad thing. But you know, hell, we've all got our vices.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't really find it bad. I don't.
I mean, it is bad in a sense because you are quite right in what you're saying. You know, and even I have that mindset: if it's not broke, don't fix it until something new and flashy comes out. At which point, I'm just drawn like a magpie to buy it. I can't help myself. I'm very impressed with the sheer amount of willpower I've actually been able to show to simply turn around and go, fuck PlayStation 5 and not kind of go out of my way to buy one at this point.
I kind of want to wait till the Pro version comes.
I'm kind of waiting until I can walk into a shop and buy one off a shelf. And like I said,
I'm not going to order one.
That could be a few years down the line, to be fair.
Something like a console, I'm not going to lie, I like to go to the store and buy it. I bought an Xbox Series 1X and a PS4 Pro on the same day with my kids. I bought them the Xbox and bought me the Pro. You know what I mean?
I bought my Pro the same day I bought my 4K.
And I waited till they were both in stock at the GameStop so I could take them kids. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's go, boys. We're going to buy game systems today. Actually, I didn't tell them when we got there. I just, the whole time, I'm like, yeah, we're going to buy PlayStation 4. And they were Xbox. They loved Xbox, right? But I'm a Sony fanboy, as I've said, so I can't do it. So we got down there, and they had the Xbox One, whatever that new one, the Pro.
Yeah, the X.
And I told the dude, because hell, it's the same GameStop we had for years. I said, yeah, give me one of them Pros in white. And they were looking at all the Xbox shit, and they had the Xbox in there. And I just told him, I said, hey, you want that? And they're like, oh, I'd love to have an Xbox. I said, give me an Xbox Pro, too. Kids about shit
that
themselves.
Must have been an expensive day for you.
Yeah, I spent about $1,000.
$1,200? Yeah.
Yeah, at least $1,000. I spent about $1,000 that day.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. To be fair, though, I was the same when I bought my Pro, because I bought my Pro the same day I bought my 4K telly. And I don't remember which of the two I went out to buy. I think I went out to buy the Pro and ended up buying a telly as well. Yeah, that day I probably spent about 1,500 quid. It's probably about, I don't know, $2,200. 21. That was Black Friday as well, so I picked my day quite well for it, because otherwise it would have been really expensive.
Well, that's what I was fixing to say. If I remember right, the systems, I got the systems. I got a PS4 Pro and the new Xbox Pro, whatever, like I say, I don't know what the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Those by themselves before tax seems like they were less than 800, a little under 800 bucks. Like I got them for less than 400.
Well, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, because there was
you'd be lucky to buy both of those in England for 800 quid. And, and obviously...
But then I bought, like, extra controllers for both of them because there was 3 of us. And then I think the only thing I bought for PlayStation was probably whatever Resident Evil game was out, or HD collection or something. You know what I mean? 'Cause
yeah.
I was like, I'll play all the shooting games and sports
straight
games
to the latest, Resi.
on the Xbox, because, like I say, they were...
I mean, I tell you what, mate, the Xbox One X, like the Pro version of the Xbox, actually looked, like, from a technical perspective, it looked like a pretty decent console. But I just couldn't justify buying it. I even thought about it a couple of times, but it was like, well, what's the point? It doesn't have any games I can't already play. It would literally just be buying it for the sake of buying it. If I want to play a game on it, I can download it on Steam, or, well, not Steam, but, on the Windows Store.
No, honestly, if it wasn't for my kids and other people in my family, I would never know Xbox. That's the only reason my cousin was an Xbox fanboy and my boys were. I don't know why they were big on Xbox, but my son himself, he saved up all his money for birthday, Christmas, and odd jobs. He bought an Xbox 360 with the red ring of death.
Oh, did he get red rings after all of that?
Yeah, but he eventually got the black model.
Yeah.
He got a replacement for it, but like I say, he loved it. I was never into them. I just always, like I say, I love Sony. Everything Sony, I love it. If they made a PC, I'd buy it. You know what I mean? If they made a car, I'd buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got quite a bit of Sony stuff.
Sony has never let
my
me
surround
down.
sound, my surround sound in the front room, that's Sony. My bedroom telly, that's a Sony Bravia. Although the fucking remote controller stopped working on it a year and a half ago, so these days I have to fucking control it with an app on my phone. But it's quite handy that you can control it from an app on your phone, so it doesn't really matter, I suppose. But it's not ideal.
And dude, I remember back in the day, if I went in somebody's house, I looked at her TV. Like you said, you had a Bravia. I was like, if they got a Sony TV, I know they're up to, you talk about the technology slave thing. Boy, I was one when I was in my 20s. Car stereo, Sony, everything.
Don't get me wrong, that bedroom telly, that Sony Bravia is still a good telly. I would say even by today's standards. Like most of my friends, their living room tellies don't come close to my bedroom telly. It's only 55 inch, but it is still 55 inch. It's a 1080p HD, but very, very, very good quality TV. It was one of their top tellies the year I bought it. But I mean, the Samsung TV that I got in the front room kicks the fuck out of it in every respect. It's faster, it connects up to my fucking home network quicker to be able to fucking stream stuff. It's got far more options on it, far more apps on it. It's 4K, HDR, same size, they're both 55 inch. I need to get a bigger one, really.
The older I get, the bigger I feel like my TVs need to be.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. When I bought this one, I went out and I was like, because my last... Let's see, how big was the telly I had in there before the 55? Because obviously that Sony one in my bedroom was my living room telly until I bought my Samsung. And before, and at that time I had a Panasonic Viera in the bedroom. I think that one was 48 inch, so still reasonably large. I gave that to my mate. And given like my last two old ones away to my mates now. So yeah, and I was considering, when I went out and I bought this 4K one, I was considering getting a bigger one. But I mean, 55 inch, to be fair, is a good size for my living room. it does work well in my living room. And and also being a bit cheap, I mean, I spent a lot of money that day. And if I'd have bought a bigger one, I would have needed to get a bigger TV unit. The TV unit I'm using at the moment is literally it's at the very edge of still okay for the size of the telly I'm using. It was designed for a 32-inch telly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you go into your catalogues, right, and you look at like TV units, and you look at a TV unit that's been designed for a 55-inch telly, it's the size of the fucking Titanic. I mean, it's like 17 miles across. You know, it crosses time zones, and there's no reason for it. Like this, my one was designed for a 32-inch telly. It's wide enough to cope with the TV. The TV kind of goes over the sides of it by maybe, I'm looking at it right now, maybe 3 inches, 4 inches either side of the actual TV unit, which actually looks perfectly fine. It looks right. And, you know, I mean, weight-wise, it's not an issue because every year TVs get lighter and lighter. A 32-inch telly back in the day when this TV unit was made was probably more heavy than the 55-inch that I've got on it right now. But I'll take a photo of it and I'll pop it on the WhatsApp chat, mate. And you tell me if this looks like it's the right sort of size.
No, actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even need to see it because as you were talking about it, I was looking at mine, and mine's about the same. I got about 4 inches hanging off each side, over the top of where you know what I'm talking about. Like what you said you had about 2 or 3 inches.
Yeah,
that's about what I got. Yeah, mine's doing the same thing. I got one of them ones got 2 doors on each side, and then in the middle, it's got the rack. You know, where you put like your console, like where your PlayStation.
Well, yeah, I've just posted it to our WhatsApp chat on the Warzone.
All right, I'll look because it sounds to me like you got the exact fucking same thing I got.
Yeah, it sounds similar, doesn't it?
Yeah, mine's the same thing, only I've got a bigger TV and a bigger stand. But, like, my stand would be as big, the side pieces would be as big as the middle, but they got doors on them, right?
Yeah.
On each end. And that's basically the only difference, yeah, but that's about how far mine's sticking over on mine. Like I say, my stand's longer, but my TV's longer, you know.
How big's yours? How big's yours? We'll tell you.
I got 70, I think it is. 70.
Oh, very nice.
70, something like that.
Yeah, so for that, I mean, I would have to get a bigger stand. I mean, to be fair, this TV that I've got at the moment, if you look at it, you can see the legs on it are actually they come out quite far at the side of the telly. Well, as in they're not like in the centre and it's just sort of all the weights in the centre. They're sort of spread out, so the legs come out quite a long way across the TV. My old Sony, it was on one stand in the middle of the telly, so it actually took up a lot less space. If a bigger TV was done that way, I could still use this stand. But with the legs as they are literally at the very edges of the TV unit. If they were any further apart.
I see what you're saying. Let me look at it.
If you look above the centre surround sound speaker there, yeah, they are literally at the very edge of the unit.
Oh, yeah. Mine's got one in the middle, like a pedestal.
Yeah, that's what my old Bravia had, or has.
Yeah, I've actually never had one of those ones that got the table legs like that. I didn't even see them. I had to zoom in actually to see them.
I actually got really lucky in terms of the size there, because I say another inch either way, and that would not have worked at all.
No.
But as it is, it's almost perfect in terms of size. And that thing below it, that's the surround sound speaker. That's the front one, and then you've got the subwoofer on the right, PC on the left, and then I've also got surround speakers going around the room. But that's Sony, the surround sound.
Good shots, and it's in the gap. Great fielding. That's a boundary cut off for sure. And he takes the single.
He's off the mark with a confidence-building stroke.
And he lets it carry through to the keeper.
Yeah, I used to be a big surround sound guy.
I can't. I just can't do it without it now. I've had surround sound since fucking hell, mate, like early 2000s. And to be fair, I've only had a few different surround sound sets. I had like my first one was a bit shitty, and then I bought like a really decent Samsung one. Oh no, it was an LG one actually, which is like a 5.1 surround sound with a DVD player, which acted as the amp, and then it had like the the sub and everything else, and that was really good. And I gave that to a friend of mine when I bought my Samsung one, which I had literally up until last year. And then it just stopped working. It started periodically going down, and so I would find that like for a week it wouldn't work because it just kept on syncing, and just would never actually fully turn on. And I'd have to literally unplug the fucker for like a week, and then plug it back in, and it would suddenly magically work again. And so it was like that for a few months, and then at one point it just stopped working, and I unplugged it, and whatever I tried for like 2-3 weeks, I couldn't get the fucker working. I was like, for fuck's sake. So I ended up buying this new one. The old one's still in my spare room, but I could probably fix it, to be honest, but I can't be bothered. But I can't do not surround sound now. Like the sound out of TV, even though TV speakers are pretty good, the sound out of that without surround sound and without the extra subwoofer bass and just the extra definition of the speakers, it sounds so fucking tinny and just flat.
Oh yeah.
And you know me, I love my games, I love my movies. If there's anything I'm going to spend my money on, it's going to be shit that enhances the stuff I enjoy doing. And that's the stuff I enjoy doing.
Bright is about to start his spell from the nursery end.
Well, what I was getting at is I feel like I've got my headphones on more than I don't.
And that carries through to the keeper.
Yeah, so I imagine you pay for some pretty good headphones. In fact, I know you do. And you've got hundreds of pairs of them because you go through them like most people go through.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money on headphones.
That one nearly shaved a coat off the stump.
He's turned him sideways. Fantastic.
I've actually got quite a few pairs of headphones around here of like varying qualities. I've got the headset I use on my PC, which is pretty good. I've got a set of Skull Candy headphones in the living room. I've got and they're like over the ear ones. I've got another set of over the ear. What are they fucking called?
The batsman was beaten all ends
I've got
up
them
there
written on
as
them.
it
So I'm
sails
gonna
past the
have a
bat.
look.
Great bowling.
Where are you? Here. Oh yeah, AKG. I knew they were a branded one. But ironically, when I'm talking to you guys and stuff, a lot of the time I'm just using like a standard like pair of in-the-ear like mobile phone headphones.
And no run there.
Yeah, I got a pair brand new in a box in case this pair fucks up on me.
I've also got a plethora of fucking wireless speakers that I've acquired over the years. I've got obviously I've got my Alexa in the kitchen. Then I've got like quite a big, cool one actually in the bedroom, which was a Christmas present from one of my exes. I've got another one in the bathroom, which never gets used, but it's there because I couldn't think of where else to put a wireless speaker.
The batsman was beaten all ends up there as it sails past the bats. Great bowling.
Trying to smoke this
No run
doobie and
there.
hit.
The batsman was beaten all ends up there as it sails past the bats.
White rant.
Great bowling.
I must have clicked.
Will be disappointed in himself. He'll feel he should have contributed more to the scoreboard.
Yeah, man. I gotta say one thing though. Talking about Sony. What's so cool about Sony is people don't even know this. They make all sorts of fantastic shit.
Oh, they make lots of stuff.
All their action cameras are like the best. They just don't get no hype, you know, because of GoPro and shit. But
Oh, and they like
Well, Sony have got their fingers in pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, music as well.
I was going
to
to say the damn recording capabilities of Sony products, you know, the microphones, the recording, you know, all that shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's more on the tech side. I was actually talking about the kind of. They're like their own kind of Simon Cowell, but much bigger. You know what I mean? They've got so many fucking music brands and artists and shit.
Oh yeah, like TriStar as far as movies
they
go.
put a lot. Oh yeah, and movies and stuff, of course. Yeah. I mean, they also own some pretty big intellectual properties. I mean, they've got Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like that, which Marvel have been trying to get back from them for fucking ages. Yeah, they're a huge company. It's when they first, or when Microsoft kind of got into the console game, and all the little console fanboys and the wars having their little fucking arguments and they're banging on about like, oh yeah, but Sony can't possibly take on the likes of Microsoft because they're like they're the richest company in the world and blah blah blah, and they've just got the money to plough them under. So I think people underestimate quite what Sony are capable of. Yes, Microsoft have more money, but you get to a point where you're talking about, oh, we've got 20 billion more a day than you earn because you only earn 100 billion a day. And it's just like, well, you get to a certain point where it's meaningless. They both got enough money to play forever.
Well, here's what happened to me 30 years ago. Sony released the PlayStation, and I said, well, the war is over. It's done.
Well, it pretty much was, actually. I mean, when the PlayStation first came out, it dominated. And that was to my dismay, actually, because at the time I was very much a Sega fanboy. I had the Dreamcast and I had the Saturn and stuff like that. I enjoyed my Segas. I started off in Nintendo, right the way up to like the N64. I still have one of those. I had the Super NES, the N64, but I also got the Saturn, I got the Dreamcast, and I really wanted the Dreamcast to do better. And I hated the fact that the PlayStation 2 was basically kind of, I don't know, grinding it down, if you know what I mean. But yeah, from the very point that the first PlayStation came out, smashed it. And the ironic thing is the PlayStation started its life, like before it became the PlayStation, it started its life as a CD add-on for the Super Nintendo. Originally designed to compete with the Mega CD.
What's he doing?
And then Nintendo fucked over Sony. And so Sony just left with the bare bones of a console, finished the work off and released it. Bet Nintendo still kick themselves to this day for that one.
Oh, he's got air on this.
They created their biggest rival.
6 runs. And straight away, he's off the mark.
Back cleared the boundary with ease. Perfectly timed.
Sega also had an opportunity to get in because after Nintendo fucked over Sony, Sony went to Sega and they were like, how would you like to get in on this? And again, Sega kind of played ball with them for a few months and then fucked them over. I'll bet Sega are really kicking themselves. Because there is no question Sony at the moment dominate the console market. You know, Microsoft aren't even close. They've sold maybe an eighth of the number of consoles that Sony have. They have a tiny market share in the gaming industry. In fact, whenever they get particularly butthurt about it, Microsoft come out with stuff like, I remember they when the Xbox One first came out, at one point they actually put it up for sale. They were like, if anyone wants to buy the Xbox brand, come and have it. You know, I mean, we don't really care anymore. We're only interested in the PC. Because people were basically like, you know, you guys got fucked. And they're like, no, we're cool. You know, Xbox only makes up 3% of our profits. You know, we're all about PC. If you want to buy it. You know, which I don't think necessarily reflects their actual mindset, because they don't like to lose like the rest of us.
Oh, yeah. Let me grab a drink real quick. Hold on a minute. Shit, I smoked that doobie.
Yeah, I'm still smoking mine. But yeah, Nintendo as well. I mean, that they can claim, you know, if you look at like the actual numbers, the statistics, you know, that it will show that they've sold more of their Switches and their consoles than like Microsoft and Sony have theirs. But by the same token, they sell them for half the price, and their consoles have 1/10 of the fucking power. And they've now become basically a purveyor of toys for children, as opposed to, you know, serious players in the actual console market. So again, yeah, I imagine that deep down, although they'll say, "Oh no, it's no skin off our backs because we're we're an industry leader," I bet they're not too happy that they basically helped Sony get into the game in the first place.
Well, I tell you what, Nintendo was something I got as a child.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah,
And
I know. Don't get me wrong. I know there are adults out there who are obsessed with Nintendo, and more power to them. I'm sure they're sitting at home right now with their Super Mario T-shirts and caps on. But as a rule, most adults are not interested in the sort of shit that, you know, Nintendo throws out, because it's kids games, and, you know, I would much rather fucking drive a race car around the track than a buggy powered by a monkey. It's just not. Yeah, it doesn't appeal anymore. And the fact that I would argue that the majority of gamers now, you know, serious gamers, are actually adults or people of working age who can buy their own consoles and are able to buy their own games. You know, when you're reliant on selling your toys to children and having their parents buy them games and stuff like that, which in some families, in many households, they're probably only getting games at Christmas and birthdays. You know, and they'll play the same shit over and over in perpetuity. And knowing people with kids, I know for a fact that their kids will be, you know, spend 2 years playing Fortnite, for example, and never anything else. And they'll just play like Roblox and stuff. They'll play the same game for pretty much ever, until they get a new one at, like, you know, a certain point in the year. There are some spoiled
Emoji
kids
grinning
get a lot of
face.
shit whenever they want it, but that's not the average. So you're much better off focusing your consoles at adults, people like us, who have the expendable income to buy what they want when they want. Can indulge our little gaming habits.
Yo, Big Hairy Kev. Thanks for stopping in, man. So what's Kent then? The minor leagues of cricket to England?
Mate, I have no idea. I don't follow cricket. I don't know any English people would do, if I'm honest. But Kent is actually a county.
I don't even think English people watch cricket anymore. I think it's mainly in India.
Some do.
In Pakistan.
Some do, and I've known people over the years that play cricket. I mean, the reason I went to Kent cricket grounds is because I had a friend. I lived in Kent, and I had a friend who played cricket and was playing, and he was like, "Oh yeah, come along," and I did. Not because I enjoy cricket. In fact, it was a really boring afternoon. I wish I hadn't gone. If I could have found an excuse not to, I would have done. Take it from me. But you know, you got to support your bros, don't you? So no, I just find it a boring sport.
A bit of light cloud around, Matt, but it should fine up later on. I had a look at the pitch, and despite the conditions, it's looking okay.
Well, I mean, honestly, if we're being honest, all sports you don't want to play are boring. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Well, to a degree, I suppose. I mean, like, so I would prefer to watch. I prefer to play football than watch it. But again, that puts me in a minority where rich people are concerned. If I'm completely honest. But I played quite a lot of football as a kid, and I'm talking about football, not what we call American football.
yeah.
But never really been when I was a teenager and when I was sort of in my early 20s.
Well, I think I agree with that. That's when you. Well, no, that's what I meant. Yeah, I'd rather play it than watch it.
Yeah, but I've always been that way about most sports, except for, ironically, as much as I love playing snooker and pool and stuff. If I ever find myself watching like professional snooker, and I'll never go out of my way to watch professional snooker, I'll just put that out there. I've never been like, oh, I want to get home and watch the snooker. No,
Yeah, but
I'm not
I've
that British
watched.
person.
I've
But
actually
every now and
sat
again,
watched
you
a
put
lot
the
of
telly on,
matches.
and somehow snooker ends up on it. And if you ever start watching it, it's almost like a hypnotic type of quality, because that's it. You're not going to stop.
No,
And I
actually,
literally
I gotta
watch it
say
for hours.
something.
Same with tennis, actually. Not that I would ever purposefully put tennis on, but if I ever start watching it, I can just watch it.
Yeah. I watch women's tennis. I don't watch a lot of men's tennis.
I mean, I'd be far more likely to start watching tennis in the first place if it happened to be women. But like I say, I mean, I would never go out of my way to watch it. But it's just one of those sports for like you cast your eyes over it and you just find yourself transfixed.
Nah, but that fucker got me. Nah, I think I love snooker about as good as anything. I think I might like it better than baseball.
I don't know why. It is very watchable. It's not exactly what you call action-packed, but it's just watchable.
But I guess it's the same with any sport. Once you know how to play it, you can really appreciate what people do.
I would argue that you could enjoy watching snooker even if you don't know how to play it. I mean, it's pretty obvious how to play it, but yeah, I mean, if you've played it yourself, I mean, certainly from a snooker perspective, as someone who's grown up playing pool and snooker, I mean, like, when I was a teenager, I was out there in the pub every night. I would spend all night playing fucking pool. I was a right little pool hustler when I was younger. And you know, having played a lot of snooker over the years and knowing just how fucking tough snooker is, because it is, those tables are fucking huge. People who haven't played snooker, who watch snooker on the telly, just you can't comprehend quite how big that table is until you've actually stood in front of one and tried to play snooker.
Yeah, because they're 12 feet, ain't they? 12 feet of table playing ground.
It's literally 4 fucking pool tables.
Yeah.
Essentially, you know. The shortest shot in terms of like corner to corner on a snooker table is the equivalent of the longest shot corner to corner on a pool table. The balls are bigger than they are in pool. The pockets are bigger. The cues are much smaller and much fucking sort of tighter in terms of the tip and stuff, because you can get a lot more spin off of them. And it's just, yeah, it's a much different game, and it's a lot harder than people think. Like long shots down a snooker table. I mean, I know that, you know, professional snooker players literally play snooker all day, every day. But you watch some of the shots they pull off with legitimate ease, and it's like, fair play to you, because I know how hard that shot actually is. It looks easy when you watch them do it. You know, they fluff one up and you're like, oh, you fucked that up. And it's like, they pull off shots that are, they make shots look easy, but are genuinely not at all easy.
The crowd appreciate bowling when they see it. A wicket maiden to end that over.
I like Ronnie O'Sullivan, man. Well, I've watched about everything there is to watch about him. And hell, he just lived in a snooker hall, basically. He's got one in his house with like
I imagine
20
most
tables.
of them have one in their houses.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not 20 tables worth, but yeah, I'd be surprised if any
He's got a bar.
snooker player.
Oh, god damn it, run, you stupid fuck.
I'm gonna be honest, that's what got me into it, is because, you know, my parents were quite well off, and we had a full-size snooker table in our house, and I spent most of my childhood grounded. So I spent most of my childhood playing snooker.
You should have been pro, man. Why'd you give up? Your parents had a dream.
I never did give up, but what I did do was get more into pool. Like, so when I started like going out and drinking with my friends, and started going into pubs and started playing pool for the first time, having grown up playing snooker constantly, I realised that I was actually really fucking good at pool. Because, like I say, the easiest shot on snooker is the hardest shot on pool, and at that point on snooker, I could pull off pretty much anything. I'm nowhere near as good these days, but at pool, I mean, I'm even now, as someone who barely plays pool and might go 8 months between a game, I'm still really good at pool. I made a lot of money out of pool when I was a teenager. going into places and fucking get, you have your winner stays on and £5 on this game, £10 on that game. You get some sucker and they start trying to fucking bet up and up and up because they think they're brilliant.
Great shot. One bounce, 4 runs.
But as soon as I got on a pool table, it was over. Like I wouldn't come off. There wasn't really a shot I couldn't pot. And I played on pool teams and stuff like that. I captained a pool team at one point. So yeah, I was serious about it, but I just never tried to make money out of it. I mean, outside of hustling a few people.
Yeah, just fucking around.
It was never a career for me. It was just something I really enjoyed doing.
Middle of the bat, stands and delivers. 6
Oh, yeah.
runs.
Nah, because there's a lot of people out there that's good. You know what I mean?
But that's when I say pool as well, though, mate. I'm talking about 8 ball, not 9 ball, which you guys have.
Yeah. Nah, I was fortunate enough to grow up with a pool table in my grandma's house. And the darts and the whole deal,
Yeah, I had a dartboard at home, and like at one point I was okay at darts, but I was never like good. I was never like as good as Stevie, for example, or anything like that. It was just again something you played in the pub with your mates when you were waiting for the pool table to be free. I do miss that actually, sort of spending my evenings down the pub with the boys playing pool and that, because I don't really go out drinking these days.
Well, if you're smart, you do like I do, and you just get drunk online and play the same games.
I've got loads of beer in the house, but I don't. I'm more likely to come home, have a joint or 10, and get stoned.
I like to have a joint and drink a beer. That's what I'm doing right now. I just smoked that doobie, and now I'm drinking a nice Miller Lite, playing some cricket.
The batsman was beaten all ends up there as it sails past the bats. Great bowling.
Well, and it's like 4 degrees outside, Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it's probably not far out there.
Big shot
Yeah,
here.
let's have a look. I mean, it's 10 to 5 in the afternoon, and it is
Probably a good call.
8 degrees.
Well, bowler and captain have talked, and they are going to ask the umpire to review that decision here. Let's see what happens.
But with the wind chill factor, it probably feels more like 6.
Oh, wind chill, I think it says it's minus 14.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, it's pretty
You
cold
must be
outside.
blowing a gale out there, mate.
Yeah, I got a tin
Okay.
roof. You can hear it every now and again.
It's only, about midday over there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like lunchtime or something. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's dark, yeah. But because it's winter, I mean, I had to put my lights on at something like 3:45.
You know what's
It's already
fucked up?
kind of dark
Last
and
week I was
dingy.
walking around with a t-shirt on. It was like 70 degrees.
That's
And the
weird.
decision stands.
Yeah.
And that's not normal, even for your part of the state.
No,
is
that's
it?
not even normal. Yeah, yeah, that was exceptionally warm. This is more normal, I guess. But
Yeah.
it fucks you up when you go from like, oh shit,
Sails past
you
the
know,
bats.
turn your air conditioner back on and fuck.
I mean, we don't really get that. We don't get that over here. Not to that extreme, anyway. We'll get,
You've got to be kidding
over
me.
the next couple of months, I reckon by about, say, March, April time, probably April, we'll start seeing days where it's kind of pleasantly warm, 65 degrees or something, but in most days will be about 40, 50. And then, yeah, it won't actually start to properly warm up here and start getting nice until about May. And even then, it'll probably still be quite rainy. Summers here are sort of spits and spurts, so you get like a week of decent weather at the height of it, where it'll be like 90 degrees, or 2 weeks, where it doesn't rain, it's like 90 degrees, it's really lovely. And then it'll be grey and dreary and sort of like, it won't be cold, it's still summer, it'll be like 70 something degrees, but it'll be rainy and just grey and overcast for like 2 weeks, windy. And then you might get a few days where it's like 90 degrees and then it's raining again. It's just like, our weather is really weird.
Bowled. Beaten all ends up.
It's not always cold in England, and it's not always raining. I know that's what people think, and it's not. But it's just inconsistent.
Actually, at least where Steve's at.
Well, he's as good as, damn it, London.
Yeah. Y'all's weather doesn't seem that too far off from where I'm at compared to the other side of the United States. If that makes any sense.
No, it's not.
Like, it never
It's not,
rains in
yeah.
California. You know what I mean? It's always like 70 degrees. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I've been to Florida a few times, and it's definitely warmer there. I mean, you know, that throughout the year, I would imagine it's a few degrees up. But in the height of their summer, it's probably not that much hotter there than it is in the height of ours. It's just that theirs lasts longer.
No,
They
it's
get a lot
like
less rain throughout it.
85 every day with 100% humidity in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, 85
Yeah, it
is.
sucks.
You know,
Actually,
a
Florida's not as
reasonable day
bad
for
as
us.
Carolina. The Carolinas, I believe. Which is odd. But.
No addition to the scoreboard.
I don't know, like South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida in the summer.
The batsman was beaten all ends
I'll
up
be
there,
honest,
and
it's
it
not a place I
sails
want
past
to
the
be.
bats. Great bowling.
It's just
You
miserable. You got to stay. It's like right now, how it's so cold, you just pretty much got to stay in the house.
well, you were talking about coming to the UK, what, a year ago?
Yeah, but I don't think it gets as extreme. That's my point. I think it stays. Now,
Oh, no,
hear
it
me
doesn't.
out. I think it's mild compared to where I'm at, meaning you don't get those extreme colds and extreme heats like we do. I'm sure it might get hot to you, but like I say, right now it's 14 below zero with the wind blowing out there. You know.
I would say an especially hot day for us would be about 100 degrees. We don't often get much above that.
Off the mark.
A cold day for us, excessively cold, but still kind of a day that we could potentially have here, -10.
So this innings has come to an end.
Yeah, and that you're absolutely.
Those are the extremes.
Yeah.
During the summer, every day will be around about. It will be in the 80s. And then you'll get your especially hot days, and you'll get your cooler days. But around that, you're also going to get the rainy days and stuff like that. That's where our inconsistencies come in. During the winter, I mean, for the next couple of months, it's going to be bloody cold here, and we're gonna sit between sort of 0 and 10 degrees, and it will kind of shift around between those, but it won't really exceed 10. It's gonna most days are going to be 4 to 5, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But with that, we'll get the wind, we'll get the rain, we might get snow.
Excellent advertisement for the game of cricket.
That's how this match is finished. I hope you enjoyed the coverage. On behalf of David and my...
I'm definitely a summer person. I prefer the summer.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the variety though of weather because we do get it all here. It gets really hot, really cold.
Yeah, we do too. I mean, I can safely say that we do get seasons. The problem is
All right,
You
name
know,
me
when
some
I was
England
growing-
towns to play against each other on my thing while I'm fucking around. Let's see, we got
well, I mean,
Essex, Glamorgan,
well, yeah, okay, go for it.
Worcestershire,
So,
Hampshire, Hobart,
let's see if we can find my county. Find Buckinghamshire.
Buckinghamshire.
Buckinghamshire will no doubt have a cricket team. Or it might be Bucks. Was that Northamptonshire?
All right, if you will look at the screen and tell me if you recognize which ones you recognize.
Right, so I recognise from the top here, because I'm a few seconds behind you. So go
Yeah.
back to the top.
All right.
Have you gone back to the top? Oh yeah, there you are. You're going back up now.
All right,
Mine.
so start at Adelaide. So tell me when you see Adelaide.
Adelaide. Oh no, you've just gone past it. No, okay, back on Adelaide. So places that I would recognise as English counties. So nothing on that first one down to Australia, number 3. So go down to your next page down, say 2 of 7. Just hit R2 and it switches pages.
You want me to hit R2?
Well, if you go to the very top, and then, because there's nothing on that first page, and then hit R2, it should bring the next page, and then I'll tell you which ones I recognise from out of there. So there's nothing in page 1, you've just gone back to the top on my screen, hit R2, right, on the second page, I mean, none of those are English apart from England, sorry. Nothing on page 3. Derbyshire, Durham, Essex. Hang on, you've just gone past. Go back.
Alright. So go down to this page. Oh, this is English domestic. Okay.
Page 4 we were on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, so so the ones I recognise then, yeah, Derbyshire, Durham, Essex, Glamorgan,
Sister
North, that's
19
Wales,
Lowell
Gloucestershire,
online.
Hampshire, yep, Kent, Lancashire, Leicestershire, Middlesex, Northamptonshire is very close to me. Sussex I used to live in, that's where Rocker lives. So the nearest one to me of all of those is Northamptonshire. To put that into perspective, my ex-girlfriend Lucy lived in Northampton, that's a 20-minute drive away. About 15 miles. So Northamptonshire would be my nearest.
I'm picked them for that team. And then that was on page 4. We'll go against Rudders.
And why don't you put them up against Rudders, which would be Sussex?
Sussex.
Alternatively, Stevie would be Essex.
Oh.
He's not in Essex, but Essex is kind of London area. Whereas Rocker is in Sussex. He's in West Sussex. He's in Brighton.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome along to today's match. I'm Matthew Hill, and alongside me in the commentary box is David Bashir. Now, you went down to the pitch a moment ago. How are the conditions looking for the match,
Shit,
David?
I need to roll me one.
We start off today with some light cloud, but it won't stick around for long, Matt. I headed down to the middle earlier on, and the pitch does look decent. The wicket is hard, a little bit crumbly on top.
Thanks, David. Well, the scene is almost set for this clash. Both teams will be looking to put in a good performance.
Actually, Stevie probably lives directly in between me and Rocker. He's about 60 miles from Brighton, about 60 miles from Milton Keynes.
We'll take this opportunity to look at the two opening batsmen, David.
I think he filmed this. I think this is on his channel. This stadium.
Whereas Bad's like northwest, he's 100 miles to the west. Probably
In a prison somewhere.
140 miles from Stevie, and again about 200 miles from Rocker.
Oh, fuck. Shouldn't have ran.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Very first.
I'm actually not sure where
He's
Taylor
out.
lives.
The batsman will be kicking himself all the way back to the sheds.
He has told me before. I don't think it's that far from where I am, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head either. I mean, to me, y'all's country is as small as my state.
No shot off,
So.
but it was safely through to the keeper.
Hell, probably.
Goes through to the keeper. And no run
Smaller. I think it'd take about 8 hours to drive across the whole state. Maybe longer.
Let's see.
He goes for a duck, and this is a very big wicket to fall. He'll be kicking himself when he gets back to the sheds.
I mean, the UK is 242,495 square kilometres. I mean, it's not big. Oh, okay, 93,628 square miles.
Like and subscribe for more facts. Whoa, that guy was slow.
That hurts.
But in terms of journey time, using roads and stuff, so, I mean, I'm going up to Bad's neck of the woods next Friday, and that will probably be about an hour and a half drive. It would take about anything up to an hour or so to get to Stevie. But actually, I think he's South London, so maybe just over an hour. It would take about an hour and a half to drive to Rocker down the motorways because it's quite a direct route to get to Brighton, even though it's further away.
Oh, what the hell did I just do?
Himself here. Don't know what he was trying to do with that ball.
Not making you look good, Seven. I'm batting on your team. Look at this, duh. I'll just sit here. Oh man, that was bad.
Yeah, technically that would be my ex-girlfriend's team. Milton Keynes have got their own ice hockey team. We've got our own football team. We're actually in the Premier League. What else we got? I think we may have a basketball team as well.
Massive shot. Clears the
God damn, knock that motherfucker out of here.
First ball faced.
Well, now you're looking good. That's 6 runs.
What a shot to clear the ropes.
Or points or whatever the hell they call them in cricket.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably ones.
Oh, look out, it's in the air. He's walloped that for another big 6.
Oh, man, got another one. All right, I take it back. You're looking pretty good over here. You're looking pretty good. What's this shit? Bam! Oh, look at it go. What a shot. Fucking some old dude in a chair back there. Did I do it again? Did I fucking do it again? No, that was still in. Oh, run, bitches. Run, run, run.
4 runs. There's no better
Oh, they got 4 on that?
put away to the boundary. Lovely.
This guy is incredible. Man, can this dude hit a fucking ball or run? You
Super shot that.
look at that, man! I'm kicking their ass. No, this is not a replay. This is the 4th fucking. God almighty. You think this fielder would learn to play deep? What's he doing? He's back in the same spot. Look, let's see if he's not doing his job again. Oh, that time he got it.
A very good wicket. Beautifully taken catch.
I keep having to moderate these dodgy Russian bots that keep coming into your channel and leaving these weird ass messages. What have you been pissing off the Russians again?
Maybe a little bit. At least one. At least one.
Well, no, someone was leaving them on your channel last night, actually, and
there's only people who watch.
TV were doing it, and I looked them up. Apparently, apparently they're protesting something. I don't give a fuck what. There was like one of them was talking. One of them on there was like, no, we're doing this in protest. If you've seen this coming up on your thing, you can find out more about it here. And I was like, no.
Saying I don't care.
Yeah. Don't give a fuck what you're protesting about. Do it by not leaving weird fucking links on people's pages.
Yeah, I'm not much of a protester, really.
New bowler is about to start his spell.
I suppose I could argue that I am, in the sense that I constantly speaking out about the shit that's going on at the moment. But if I was going to protest, I wouldn't do it in such a way that would fucking inconvenience other people.
Well, they're giving me views. I'll bring them. Let them share the protest. Why did you run, you idiot? Because I pushed the button. That's why.
It puts the batsman in two minds when running between wickets. We've seen some great fielding here.
Man, I was playing this Japanese game I got earlier, Battle Royale.
Knives Out, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they're just like Call of Duty. I swear to God, at the beginning screen, they're like, yeah, we fixed this and this and this and blah, blah, blah. And it's worse than it's ever been, and the game's been out for like 5 years. You know what I mean? Right at the last circle, like, all the bots appear. You know, because they will fill it with bots, like if you get, because it's a lot bigger than Call of Duty, you know, the map is.
Yeah.
And so there'll be random bots. So if you're just running across the open field, you get to have some action, pick up some loot by fighting somebody. Well, there's this glitch where they're not appearing. No bots are appearing until like the fucking second to last circle.
Well, then like 150 of them.
Yeah, and they're everywhere. And they're fucking everywhere.
It's like aliens have just dropped off all the people they kidnapped over the years, give them a gun and gone, there you go.
So me and these three other dudes, we were fucking playing it. And just riding around in a car getting like 50 kills, 45, 50 kills. Just riding around the last circle, mowing down all the bots.
Running over people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, of all of the Battle Royale games that are out there at the moment, circulating around, for all of its faults and criticisms I level at it and stuff like that, Call of Duty is probably the best of them. Like, in terms of just the general quality of what's on offer. You know, I've watched you play Knives Out, and it looks a little bit to me like PUBG in the sense that it just looks very much like an unpolished turd that they've released. And yeah, I'm sure it's fun to play, but like when you've got the likes of Call of Duty doing what they're doing, but doing it with more polish and more, you know, precision.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's no way to compare. I mean, well, that's the disappointing part. I mean, when you got the kind of money Activision has as a publisher, you know, that's why I won't bitch about these shitty games, because it's like, dude, it's free and it's a no-name company.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Call of Duty, they make $5 million a day and they can't get their shit together. So.
Oh yeah. So that Knives Out is free as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is in the air.
I mean, there's shit you can buy on it.
Yeah.
But no, it's not pay to win in any sense or anything like that.
I mean, I always found PUBG particularly obnoxious because it was a game that you paid for.
Yeah, you had to pay for it.
Microtransactions, and it was, and they never put any time or effort into trying to essentially finish it. They released it in an early access state on the PC, and at that point I thought it looked real because I was like, I could see where it could go. But then lots and lots of people felt that way and started playing it. It became a fucking sensation. And so at that point, instead of finishing it and tidying up all of the glitches, because all the people who are playing it, all the YouTubers are like, oh, this is brilliant, this is amazing, it's great fun, but they just need to make it better, they need to sort out the graphics, they need to sort out this, they need to sort out the collision detection, the clipping, the falling through the fucking map from time to time, and this working and that working, make it so you can open doors without glitching and stuff like that. All these little problems that they have with it. They're like, these all need fixes, but if they can do it, this game's going to be amazing. The publishers just ignored all of that, went, oh yeah, tons and tons of people are playing, and just immediately set to work on creating DLC for it, and paid DLC, microtransactions. Oh, if you like our game, buy this pair of trousers for fucking £4.50 or whatever, and then started porting it to other consoles and other devices to try and milk it in. They had a massive cheating problem, and they didn't do anything to try and address it. And I don't know, it started off to me as a really promising game, and then because it got popular, because there wasn't really anything else in the market that was doing what it was doing at that level, they just went, oh fuck it, we're done then, now let's start milking cash off of it, and just basically never finished it, and they still haven't.
Yeah. Again, I liked PUBG.
There was a lot to like, but it was still, in essence, the very same fucking early access fucking alpha that they released on PC, and it became a fucking sensation. They never shored up any of those issues. Never did. All they did was find new ways to monetize it, or not even new ways, just, they found a few ways to monetize it, and then just worked in perpetuity on doing that over and over again. Greedy fucking shysters, mate. And that's why I've never bothered with PUBG. It does look fun. In the same way that Call of Duty is fun. It's got that.
Yeah, I'm going to say something crazy. PUBG's a lot more fun than Call of Duty because of the shit you can do on it. It's a lot more overall fun. Yeah, it's a lot more fun, I think PUBG is. I know that sounds crazy as much as I play Warzone, but nobody I know. I mean, I knew a Russian guy I play with all the time. That was about it.
It's going to be an embarrassing result, really.
What, PUBG, yeah?
Yeah, I play with a Russian guy all the time. It's in my streams. Any of my PUBG streams, there's probably a Russian guy in there. That's the only person I knew.
That's been my only real issue with the Quest and the VR side of things, is that I don't know very many people that play it.
Nah, but man, in PUBG, dude, they got these little glider planes. You got to have gas for vehicles. Fucking. You don't have pre-loadouts, like Call of Duty. It's more Battle Royale, where you build your loadout as you play, and you can get cool fucking guns, man. You never know. There's like so many options. It's not like you're just going to go in and in 5 minutes you're going to have the best gun in the game. You might play 20 games, and you'll find a different badass gun. Like some sniper that'll shoot fucking 2 miles or something. I don't know how to explain it. It's crazy.
But yeah, those are the aspects of the game that first attracted me to it. I was watching streams on PUBG when it first came out. Like I say, when it first came out in alpha and people were playing it and streaming it, and I was watching them and I was like, yeah, this is really good. Me and Kyle, my mate Kyle, was sat here watching streams and I was like, I'm getting this, mate. I'm just going to wait until they fix a few things up on it. But because they never did fix a few things up on it. And then over time, they became more and more egregious with their fucking just greedy, manipulative shit.
Well, 1 month it was free on PlayStation Plus.
Well, it was at one point, and I still didn't download it. Because I got to a point where I followed the developer long enough to realise what a bunch of wankers they were, and then won't buy it on principle. And even if they want to give it to me, I don't want it. But that's only because I've taken the time to learn about the way that they kind of developed the game and the attitudes they took whilst they did it. Which, for me, PUBG and my reluctance to play it is more to do with the fact that, unfortunately, I know the people that made it.
Yeah.
Not personally, but one of the downsides about having a hobby that you're particularly into and kind of keep up on news on is that you also get to hear about the shit things that people do. And there's a lot of games that have come out that I've not bought on principle because either they were, shady as fuck on for things like microtransactions. They just pushed the envelope too far in terms of the sheer manipulative greed that was on display. And there are lots of publishers that do it. You know, EA is a prime candidate. They do it all the fucking time. Although they have chilled out a bit. But I mean, for example, Star Wars Battlefront 2. You know all the controversy that kicked up about that and the way that they just turned it into a monetized fucking feeding frenzy. And a lot of people didn't buy it on that basis. They were like, no, not touching it. You know, it wasn't. EA were never going to fucking end up closing down because, you know, people didn't buy their fucking game. But the only thing that ever really kind of makes any impact on them is money. And, you know, if it doesn't do as well as they projected and they've got to go to their shareholders and go, no, we only made 10 billion as opposed to the 100 billion we told you we were going to make, then that's an uncomfortable day for them, and that's enough for me. So there's certain games I won't buy on principle. And then they sorted out Battlefront 2 because of all the backlash and because of all the people that didn't buy it and all the shit they were getting. And so then I bought it because they fixed it all. They took away all the microtransactions. They just made it a good, you know, an honest to goodness game. But if it wasn't for people just not buying it and just saying, no, I'm not buying that because you a bunch of wankers, it would never have changed.
Let's take a look at the opening batsman who'll be seeing out
Yeah.
this new ball.
Nah, I don't fuck with EA, really, unless it's a sports game. And I don't buy anything on sports games because you know.
I mean, back when I had like the Xbox, the original Xbox, and to a degree maybe the 360, and certainly before that, in the days of the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive, there were certain companies that if they released a game, I was probably going to buy it because they were just the name of that company at that time or that point of time was synonymous with a certain point of branding quality. Like, you know, you go back to the Super Nintendo days, if Konami released a game, you'd probably buy it because it was going to be the fucking business. Now, if Konami released a game, run, because Konami ain't Konami anymore, and there's no quality control, and it's anything that they release is just going to be utter garbage that belongs on a mobile phone. But back in the day, they were a big player. Capcom were the same. I would still argue that Capcom are probably a one developer that you can pretty much trust to release decent quality games. You look at their track record in the last few years. They've got all of the Resident Evil remakes, including obviously Resident Evil 4 on the Oculus Quest, which is a fucking definite triumph. You've got, you know, Monster Hunter that they released on the PS4 era. That was actually brilliant. I got stuck right the fuck into that. I was addicted to it. I really was. I mean, it's just a shame that you guys never really got it or played it. I didn't really know you guys back then, because I ran out of people to play it with, and I literally did everything there was to do. I'd unlocked everything there, or built everything there was to build. So it was like, I've kind of run out of shit to do now. And they've released some really, really quality games. But these days, I don't really follow, as a rule, publishers to the point where I'm like, yeah, if they release a game, I'll do it, or I don't really bother with their games unless it's this, that, or the other. I just kind of follow certain games. The only publishers that I'm still kind of like, yeah, if they release stuff, it's probably going to be great. As I say, Capcom at the moment, I think are doing really well, and id Software. I've always been a big id fan because they just make quality games. You know, they're responsible for Doom, all that sort of shit. So it's a shame that they're in bed with Bethesda at the moment, because Bethesda are a crock of shit. But fortunately, they don't get too involved in the id stuff. Thank God. If they started fucking giving the Skyrim treatment and the Fallout 76 treatment to all of id stuff, then they'd be off the list as well. But they haven't done that yet, fortunately.
The batsman won't like that.
I don't know what's the matter with some of these bowlers. I can't get them to do it.
Well, something must have put the ball off.
Yeah, I guess I just sent the last guy I was pitching with or bowling with. I can't do it with this guy. Grabbing a beer. I'll be back.
Oh, man.
And that's the final wicket, and the batting team have fallen short of the target. They'll be disappointed they couldn't do more here.
Essex has taken the honours in a tight tussle here. It was a very good all-round team performance from both their batters and bowlers. Excellent advertisement for the game of cricket.
Thanks, David, and thanks to those at home for tuning in. Bye for now.
What are you doing? You getting on anything today? You just fucking around?
No, I will get on something. Although I've got a couple of VR games I was hoping to pop on for a little while people were getting online. I could jump on Warzone with you for a little bit if you want.
Well, you want to play some of that? I'll play some.
Yeah, give me a few minutes. At the moment, I'm just playing with my guinea pigs at the moment.
All right.
Tell you what. I'm having a rare opportunity to stroke my new guinea pig. You know, the little one I bought after Niblet died. He's still really nervous around people, so he doesn't often give me a chance to stroke him, but I've managed to coax him out with food, and at the moment I'm giving him a stroke. So I was like, I'm gonna do this for as long as I can. I don't know, mate, 'cause I hardly ever get to do this with you. Because you're a little bundle of nerves.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome along to East.
And the more time I get to spend stroking him, the more comfortable he gets with it. He's like, okay, he's not going to hurt me.
Is David Bashir. Now, you went down to the pitch a moment ago. How are the conditions looking for the match, David?
Gorgeous conditions here, Matt. An absolute ripper of the day for cricket. The pitch is rather bare on the surface, but it's got quite a bit of moisture in it.
Thanks, David. The crowd are building for this near sellout match. The atmosphere is going to be electric. There'll be some nerves down in those dressing rooms as well. The teams are making their way out onto the field now. We'll take this opportunity to look at the two opening batsmen, David. Can't wait for this one. Here's the first ball of the match. Good catch. Out.
Bullshit. He didn't catch that. Give me a fucking break.
Filthy with the way he got himself out there.
Goes through to the wicket keeper. No shot offered.
Right, I'm going to hang this up now. You can't eat all of it like that. Just get back. Go on, go one more bite.
That's out of here. And there's the first runs of the match.
Now I'm going to hang it up.
Over the bowler's head. Superb effort.
I've got these sort of hanging nut things that I give them. They're almost like bird feeders. You sort of hang them off the top of the cage, and then they kind of,
Yeah, I know exactly what
to a degree, climb up and munch on them. So I was just putting a fresh one in, but I was sort of like just kind of dangled it in front of them for a minute so they could sort of munch away on it without having to climb for it while I was stroking them. I was like, no, at some point this has to get hung up.
First ball, first runs.
Right, quick special cup of tea, clothes on.
He's gone. Will be kicking himself here. Don't know what he was trying to do with that ball.
As I put some clothes on, I'm not walking around like naked or anything. I've got like dressing gown. I've had a lazy afternoon.
I dig it. That's what I'm doing. Fucking around.
Well, the way I see it, I'm on holiday now until Friday. And on Friday, all I've got to do is go to Longbridge for a fucking meeting and then I'm home. So technically I'm on holiday for 9 days.
Well, I say take advantage of it. You know what I mean?
I intend to, yeah.
That's
I woke up today.
Day drink.
And it was like, I woke up today about midday. God, I think I probably got up about 1ish. And I sort of got up and I was like, oh, fucking hell, Mark. Got halfway through the day, wasted the day, and I was like, no, fuck it, I'm on holiday. What's the point of a holiday if you can't be a fucking slob?
Yeah, that's what I love about it. Just slobbing it up, just drinking beers, eating. I cook pork chops. I ain't even ate them yet.
Oh, what about that? That's going to hurt.
Oh, mate, I've got a red berry strudel in the
That's a
freezer.
leg
Might
by.
have to put that on there.
See, now that's what I would actually like to be eating right now. That would be good.
I've become a little bit addicted to strudel recently. You might have noticed that I keep bringing up strudel. I'm really, really enjoying strudels.
They're really good.
They are good.
Like when I started cooking pork chops, I was drinking a margarita. So I was like, oh,
Nice.
spicy pork will be good. Now I'm drinking beer. That strudel, a sweet strudel.
Yeah, there is nothing not to like
Flies
about
through to the
strudel.
keeper. The batsman beaten by the bowler, and he's unlucky on that occasion. No addition to the scoreboard.
I mean, really, I should have gone shopping today. I could really get some food shopping in, but I've got enough bits and bobs around where I can sort of scrape together something for dinner. I'll make myself a pasta bake or something like that. I'm running low on weed, but I've got enough to last a day.
Sister 19 LOL online.
Beautifully taken catch.
Yeah, that's been my goal, to not have to leave the house today. That's why I started drinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not
Well, I
going
mean,
anywhere. It's too cold.
I had a few things I was kind of semi-planning to do today. And I say semi-planning, I hadn't really committed to it. But I kind of wanted to go and get my hair cut, pop into town, get a couple of bits. I do need to do some food shopping. I need to top up guinea pig stuff. I need to get some more hay, ideally, and some more guinea pig nuggets. I need to get some more bedding for them. But none of this stuff needs to be done today. This is the thing. None of it needs to be done today.
Oh yeah, that's exactly my goal. I got shit that needs to be done, but I got enough I can get by on. I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nice to not have to leave the house for one entire day. Very rarely does it
is.
ever happen for me.
I mean, I'm getting a bit spoiled by it because I've been working from home for 2 weeks. So I've not been able to leave the house very much at all.
Oh well, yeah, I guess it's okay. Yeah, so you're on the opposite end of what I'm dealing with then. But
They need to be very careful here.
I'll be back in my office when I'm back at work.
well, I don't know. See, that's the thing. If I only had to do shit that, you know, like administrative stuff and everything. It seems like a waste of my money to drive somewhere to do it, since I could do the same job from anywhere. You know what I'm talking about there?
Yeah. Another Russian bot hidden.
The batsman was beaten all ends up there as it sails past the bats. Great bowling.
It's probably the same Russian bot, just coming up with different names.
Wish they'd subscribe. That's what I need on my channel, Russian bots.
The more the merrier.
Yeah. I'm sorry, we'll title my next stream, Welcome Russian Bots.
Maybe I should stop blocking them then.
No, it's all good, man. I'm glad
I can let these people back in if you want.
Just what were the batsmen doing there?
The batsman was beaten all ends up there as it sails past the bats. Great bowling. And it sails past the bat and into the keeper's gloves. Gee, that was very close. And no run there. 5 for 11. So a new bowler is about to begin his spell here. The batsman was beaten all ends up there as it sails past the bats. Great bowling.
Oh, fucking idiot.
And no run there. Another run taken.
Making another spliff. Oh, I say I've got enough to last them, right? Might be a bit touch and go. No, it should be all right.
Off the mark. Another run added.
Chipping away at him.
Essex County Cricket Club are 5 for 15.
Essex County Cricket Club up 5 for 15.
Is about to start a new over.
Oh, this could be tight. Got it. Oh, shit. Come back.
Caught.
That was a very soft wicket. Will be so disappointed in the way he threw his wicket away.
Oh, fuck me. Fuck that up.
Another wicket, another victim falls. This is a collapse of gargantuan proportions.
I like that split, but I won't. I'll put that in the front room with me tea. Get changed, and I'll chuck the PlayStation on.
Right.
If I start smoking that spliff in the kitchen again, that'll be me committed through that spliff, and then I'll have to make another one. That's exactly how 10 minutes turns into 2 hours with me.
Asking the umpire the question. Out. Very good keeping behind the wicket. Takes a good catch. So this innings has come to an end. They've lasted the overs.
The bowling team will leave the field knowing they have put themselves into a commanding position after a superb spell of bowling, restricting their opponents to a very modest total. Now, they have to back it up with the bat.
So both teams getting set now for this second innings run chase. That's the end of this match. Durham County Cricket Club will be very pleased with this victory and the way their players stood up.
Durham have gone on to win, and what a thrilling match it was. It came right down to the wire. Really
All right, you
enjoyed
switching over to
So this
PlayStation?
match is finished. I hope you enjoyed the coverage.
I'll shut my shit down here.